At Chew in Boston, candies, chocolates, and sodas get their bright colors from natural sources like cabbage, turmeric, and beets.
So this is purple carrots and beet juice.
It can make food look the same as the red dye?
Yes, it can. With the right dilution, concentration, and intelligence, yes.
And is it much more expensive to use this?
No.
CEO and founder Adam Malonis says Chew has partnered with some of the biggest companies in the world to create more than 5,000 food and beverage products over the past decade, all without artificial colors. Why is so much food in the American diet made with artificial colors and flavors?
In short, because they're easy, they're cheap, and they are exciting.
But he says natural dyes can be just as vibrant because food technology has come a long way and the pigments are added with the flavor removed so they don't really affect the taste. Look how these gummies made with carrot and beet juice compared to these gummies colored with Red 3.
You don't need to go the artificial route when you can see that the natural route works.
This is the brightness of the Canadian version, just for visibility. And this is the brightness of artificial food dyes.
Jason Karp, CEO and founder of the company Human Co., which makes several natural food products, went viral when he testified to Congress last September. He showed how American companies are selling the same products without artificial dyes in other countries, including the popular cereal Fruit Loops.
You could hear a gasp in the audience because most people have never seen the cereal that's sold abroad. I think everyone was outraged.
The maker, Kellogg, has not responded to our request for comment. Some companies are already working to remove artificial dyes from their products after the FDA announced a ban on red dye number 3 earlier this year, following a review of a 1980 study that found tumors in rats that consumed high doses of the dye. While the agency says there's no connection between red number 3 and cancer in humans, a 2021 California report also linked the dye and others to hyperactivity and restlessness in some children.
Well, I think this is just a call to action for all of us.
Dr. Janine Villela says consumers should be aware of the potential additive effect of what they're eating. Think of how many artificial colors and chemicals are in a day of meals, from breakfast and snacks to drinks and desserts. Should consumers avoid foods that contain these ingredients?
I think consumers should think about what they're putting into their bodies and really try to have whole, nutritious food.
Food makers like Malonis and Karp hope red number 3 is just the start.
I'm hoping this becomes essentially the canary in the coal mine, and that we can begin to eradicate the artificial wherever we can.
For now, consumers can look out for Red 3 and other artificial dyes on ingredient labels.
If people demand more natural versions of things and they buy those products and they reward the companies that are doing the right things, those companies will grow and you will see more and more options for the consumer that are safe.
And it isn't just food makers who have to do away with red number 3 under the current rules. It's also found in medicines like some cough syrups and pain relievers. Those medicine makers have an extra year to phase out the dye under this new FDA ban.
So that's what the federal government is doing. What about states? Are any of the states starting to take their own actions?
It's a real patchwork, Craig. Right now, more than a dozen states have introduced bills to restrict these artificial dyes. Just last month, West Virginia banned 7 food dyes. And starting in August, they're not going to be allowed in school lunches. By 2028, they won't be allowed in any food items that are sold there in that state. So a lot of momentum right now. But as these bills work their way through, we're going to see what the FDA says and also the Department of Health and Human Services. That, you know, if the federal government takes action and food makers have to comply, that could wipe out the need for states to do this patchwork. And then we're going to start to see no more artificial colors derived from petroleum.
You make an interesting point, though. They're already doing it in Canada.
They are.
They're doing it in Europe.
It's not a secret. The recipe is available to many food makers. And so it'll be interesting to see if they finally bring it to the USA, which is what a lot of people want.
The food makers are just, it's a matter of tradition and cost and
yeah, and it's the way it's been done.
Yeah.
And consumers not knowing the difference until you see side by side what's available.
Well, consumers know now.
Yes, they do.
All right, Vicky, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.